A hi fanele hi teka xiboho xexo hi ta hi xixima vaaki hinkwavo kusuka ka tindhawu ta ku hambanahambana lava hi va rhumele xirhambo.
We are the Portfolio Committee on the National Assembly responsible for oversight on mineral resources and energy.
Hi Portfolio Committee kusuka ka Palamende leyi langutaka mhaka ya mafurha na energy.
From my left there is Honorable Malinga.
Kusuka ximatsini xa mina i Muchaviseki Malinga.
Umama wala Mpumalanga.
I manana wa kusuka kwala Mpumalanga
Standard.
eStanderton.
Next to her we have Honorable Jafta.
Etlhelo ka yena Muchaviseki Jafta.
Then we have Honorable Zungula.
Hi va na Muchaviseki Zungula.
We have Honorable Volmarans.
Hi na Muchaviseki Volmarans.
We have Honorable Mahlaule.
Hi na Muchaviseki Mahlaule.
We have Honorable Jobeka Makeke.
Hi na Muchaviseki Jobeka Makeke.
We have Honorable Bilankulu.
Hi na Muchaviseki Bilankulu.
I am Mr. Luzipo, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Mineral Resources and Energy.
Hi mina nkulukumba Luzipho. Ntshama xitulu wa komiti leyiwa ya swa energy na mafurha.
I know I'm handsome, but I can't be Luzipo.
Na swi tiva ku ndzi sasekile kambe ni nge vi Luzipho.
We are here because the department, which is led by Minister Mandashe, presented to Parliament a proposed legislation.
Hilani hi ku yimela ndzawulo ya energy leyi nga rhangela hi Holobye Nkulu Gwede Mantashe laha va nga endla mbulavulo ku va na ku cincanyana ka nawumbisi ka mhaka ya energy.
Then the Speaker of Parliament referred that bill to the relevant committee, which is the Committee on Mineral Resources and Energy.
Xipikara xa Palamende xi rhumele nawu leyiwani ka komiti leyi faneleke ku langutana na swona ku nga komiti leyi ya mafurha na mhaka ya energy.
Having been briefed then by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy, the committee took a decision to conduct public hearings.
Loko komiti ta va yi burisane na ndzawulo va teke xiboho xa ku va famba tindhawu ta ku hambanahambana ku va na mutshamo na vaaki.
But before it could do that, we referred the bill to the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership.
Hi nga se endla sweswo hi rhumele nawu lowuwani eka National House of Traditional Khoisan Leadership.
The National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership returned its submissions on the bill at the end of October 2022.
Vaendli liyani va vuyisile nawumbisi luwa eka komiti hi October lembe ra 2022.
I will come back just to explain because there are certain issues that we need to deal and manage between ourselves and the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leadership.
Ni ta tlhela ni vuya nakambe ni ta hlamusela switsongo mayelana na leswi swi nga kona ka nawumbisi lowu mayelana na National Khoisan and Traditional Leaders.
So we have also opened up for what we call written submissions.
Hi tlhele hi pfulela leswaku vanhu va nga va tsala kunene loko mavonelo ya vona kumbe xana leswi va lava ku swi engeteriwa lahaya.
That process also was closed in November 2022.
Sweswo naswona a swi pfariwile hi November ya lembe leri nga hundza.
We then invited those who had submitted written submissions to make oral submissions.
Hi rhambe lava va tsale kunene leswaku va ta swi vulavula kunene leswi.
Then when we were done to conduct public hearings to hear what are the views of the people on this proposed bill.
Loko hi endle tano hi hetile hi teke xiboho xa leswaku ta endzela vaaki ka tindhawu ta ku hambanahambana hi ta twa mavonelo ya vona mayelana na nawumbisi luwa wu nga kunguhatiwa.
When we are done, I will explain that detail at the end. But for now, we have done the province of the Western Cape, we have done the province of the Eastern Cape, we have done KwaZulu-Natal, we have done Limpopo, we have done Northern Cape, we are done with the Free State, we are now left with Mpumalanga, Northwest, and Gauteng.
Loko ni hetile ni ta kota ku va ni mi hlamusela enti mayelana na mhaka liya kambe se hi hetile hi swifundza swo hlaya leswi va nga swi hlaya lahaya ku sele xifundza xa Mpumalanga na Gauteng na Northwest.
In Mpumalanga, we will be doing Bushbuckridge, Middleburg, and then Secunda.
Laha xifundzeni xa Mpumalanga hi ta va hi ri eBushbuckridge, Secunda na Middleburg.
In other places, some people asked us, why did you choose to come here? I said to others, at least I can explain Bushbuckridge because it nearly had a lot of talking.
Okay, loko van vutisa van'wana ku ta ku kwalaho ka yini mi hlawula Bushbuckridge va vula leswaku va kota ku hlamusela leswaku vanhu va kota ku va vulavula hi yona va ive mahungwini nkarhi wo leha.
There were some views that we must go to Nelspruit, but what we have realized as this portfolio committee is that most of the committees of the National Assembly or any of the legislatures, they like to go to the big cities instead of the small towns.
Vanhu vo tala a va langutele leswaku hina hi faneleke hi ya eNelspruit kambe hikuva hi swi tiva leswaku tikomiti to tala ti ya etindhawini ta le madorobeni hina hi va hi hlawula ku ta etindhawini ta le makaya.
So I will plead for the community of Bushbuckridge to make it justifiable why we came to Bushbuckridge.
So ni ta tsaka swinene loko vaaki va le Bushbuckridge vo kota ku va nghenelela ngopfu ka mhaka leyi hi nga ta vulavula hi yona ku swi pasisa ku hikwalaho ka yini va hlawule leswaku va ta la Bushbuckridge.
Because there were some strong views that we must go to Nelspruit, but we realized that most every committee, when they will go to Nelspruit.
A ku ri na miehleketo yo hlaya swinene ya leswaku a ku yiwi eNelspruit tanihileswi tikomiti to hlaya ti ya ka yona kambe hina hi alele na swona.
So our towns, small as they might be, they also deserve to participate in the process of formulation of legislation.
Xidorobana xa hina hambileswi xi nga xitsongo naxona xi fanele ku va xiphemu xa ku va ku endliwa nawu lowu nga ta va wu ri kona laha tikweni ra hina.
So finally we had to agree that we are coming to Bushbuckridge.
Hi le hi teka xiboho xo va hi twanana leswaku hi ta eBushbuckridge.
Let me just do what I would call a heads up on what is it that we are coming here for as a proposed legislation.
Moni mi hlamusela switsongo leswi hi nga tela swona tanihi nawu lowu nga kona nawumbisi lowu nga kona wa mhaka ya energy.
The Department of Mineral Resources and Energy proposes a legislation which is called the Upstream Petroleum Resources Development Act, Development Bill.
Ndawulo leya energy yi te na mhaka ya mavonelo ya nawu lowu tivekaka tanihi Upstream Petroleum Resources Development Bill.
Now the Upstream Petroleum Development Bill makes proposals.
Nawumbisi luwani ku na leswi wu nga languta eka swona.
One, it suggests that they are proposing that there be one legislation, standalone legislation that regulates petroleum, that does what we call regulate petroleum provisions.
Kuna nawumbisi luwani wu lawula leswaku wu tirha nawu wun'we ntsene ku lawula mhaka ya mafurha.
Currently we have the MPRDA, which is the Mineral Petroleum Resources Development Act.
Sweswiwani na MPRDA leyi lawulaka mhaka ya mafurha.
The MPRDA regulates both minerals and petroleum.
MPRDA yi lawula mafurha na swicelwa.
So this bill now seeks to separate the two.
Nawumbisi lowani wu lava ku va ava swiyenge leswimbirhi.
Secondly, there is a proposal that government must participate in the activities, upstream activities in the petroleum sector.
Xa mbirhi ku va mfumo wu nghenelela eka mhaka leyi ya mafurha laha tikweni.
And then That participation, they say it must be done by a state and national petroleum company.
leswiwani swi va swi endliwa tani hikuva ku ri na National Petroleum Company.
So it proposes the establishment of a national petroleum company.
Va lava leswaku simekiwa khampani yi nga ta languta ntsena eka mhaka ya mafurha.
It is therefore up to you to say, do you agree with those proposals or not? But we would love to get the reasons. If you agree, why do you agree? If you don't agree, why you don't agree? You are free to reject or accept the proposal.
Swi le ka n'wina ku va mi pfumelana kumbe mi alana na navumbisi luwani. Loko mi pfumela mi ta ku vula hikwalaho ka yini, loko mi alana na swona mi ta vula na swona hikwalaho ka yini mi alana na swona.
For instance, if others would say the bill proposes 20% state ownership in the Upstream Petroleum, but others says 20% is too little, we want 49, others says 30, others says no, it must be 51%. You are free, but we will appreciate if you reject the 20% to say what is it that you think should be the percentage that the state owns.
Xikombiso mi nga vula leswaku mi lava 20% ya ku va kumbexana tiko ri va ri na vulawuri ka mhaka leyi ya mafurha, kumbexana mi kaneta mi ku hina hi lava 40%, 50% hi ku ya percent ta ku hambanahambana, nakona mi alana na yona leyi ya 20%.
There is also a proposal that there must be black ownership of 10% in the Upstream Petroleum.
Naswona ku na swibumabumelo leswaku ku fanele ku va ku na 10% leyi nga ta va yi oniwa hi vanhu kumbexana yi lawuriwa hi vanhu va nhlonge ya ntima.
Again, you are free to accept or support that 10%. You are equally free to reject the 10%, but we'll appreciate if you suggest what percentage that you think will be at least tolerable as far as the black ownership is concerned.
Mapfumeleriwa ku pfumelelana na tiphesenti letiya kumbexana mi alana na tona, kambe mi tlhela mi nyika mavonelo leswaku i tiphesenti tingani leti mi vonaka nga ku ta va ti ri kahle ka vanhu va nhlonge ya ntima.
The last two things that I must do is that we'll appreciate even if you don't know, but we'll appreciate if you can share with us whether are there any people who had come and workshopped you on the proposals that are coming out of this bill.
Ita pfumela loko ku ri ku na munhu loyi a nga ta mi lemukisa kumbexana ku mi dyondzisa mayelana na navumbisi luwa, mi ta vula leswaku i swilo leswi mi nga twa swona kumbexana loko a nga swi kumangiki.
Also, we will want, if it comes from you, I don't know what you call it in English, but in Zulu, that one of the things we've discovered in many of the areas where we are going, not only for us, is that in most cases, the departments, they don't consult, they don't do what we are doing, conduct public hearings, so that by the time they take the bill as a proposal to Parliament, at least you have made contributions. In many cases, we find that people find a bill that has already been drafted incomplete by the department without them participation. We would love to hear your views even on that one, so that it does not come as if it is us who are saying that is what must happen.
Ndhawu leyi yoxe a yi swi koti ku famba yi endzela vanhu yi endla mintshamo yo fana na leyiwani, kambe va tirhisa komiti liya ku va yi famba yi ya twa mavonelo ya n'wina na matitwelo ya n'wina mayelana na navumbisi luwa wu nga se humesiwa, hikuva milawu yin'wanyana mo yi kuma se yi ri kona mi nga swi tivi leswaku yi pasisiwe nkarhi muni, i vo mani va nga hoxa xandla ka ku va va nyika mavonelo kumbe matitwelo ya vona mayelana na mhaka yo karhi.
We will appeal that you must stick to what we are here about.
Hi ta kombela leswaku mi nga humi ngopfu endleleni ka leswi hi nga tela swona ka siku ra namuntlha, langutani ngopfu ka leswi va nga tela swona laha.
Reason being that when we are done with the public hearing in all the provinces, we will look at the comments that were made in relation to the proposed bill.
Hikuva loko se hi ta va hi hete mintshamo ya hina ka swifundza hinkwaswo hi ta ya tshama hi languta leswi nga vulavuriwa ka tindhawu ta ku hambanahambana mayelana na vumbisi luwa.
So we don't want you to have had a meeting, but when we ask what did they say about the bill, we say no, they didn't say anything. It will mean other provinces will take decisions on your behalf on the bill.
A hi lava ku ta ku loko va ku mi twe yini ka nawu vumbisi luwa mi twangi nchumu hikuva swifundza swin'wana swi ta swi teke mavonelo kumbe swi nyika mavonelo ya swona swi tsariwa ka nawu vumbisi luwa.
So before we then go to take hands, one, you are free to speak in a language of your own choice.
Loko nga se teka mavoko amukelekile kumbe ku pfumeleriwile ku vulavula hi ririmi rin'wana na rin'wana leri i lavaka ku vulavula hi rona.
But please don't speak Gujarati. We don't understand. We will not have an interpreter for it.
Mi nga vulavuli Xigujarati ku ta ku ri ha munhu wo toloka.
Two, when you come here on the mic, please give us your name and surname.
Loko u ta rhaka microphone fika hi nyika vito ra wena na xivongo.
It's up to you then to say from what so and so and what so and so. But in other places where we go, some they make it as personal marketing and then say I'm single. No, we are only interested on who you are.
Pfumeleriwile ku vula leswaku u huma ka wadi yihi kumbe xana ka ndhawu yihi kambe a wu pfumeleriwangi ku vula ku u tekile kumbe a wu tekiwangi.
Then you please tell us whether you support or you reject the proposals on the bill.
Loko u ti tivisile ta vula leswaku wa seketela kumbe alanana na vumbisi luwa.
My last point before I explain the procedure is that the reason we say sign, because in other people say you want us to sign so that you follow us. No one must be followed. We want you to sign so that there can be evidence and proof that a meeting did take place. That's point one.
Xo sungula lexi ni nga ta xi vula i ku xivangelo xa ku va ku sayiniwa i ku va ku ri na vumbhoni bya leswaku ina u fikile ka nhlengeletanyo yo fana na leyiwani. Xo sungula xexo.
I'm sure we know in most cases they will be told the meeting took place, there is no attendance register, there are no pictures of the meeting, but you are told the meeting did take place. Or there is a school, but there is a school that has got a principal, that has got learners, that has got teachers. But when you go there, there is no school that exists.
Van'wani ma byeriwa leswaku ku ve na nhlengeletano ku ri hava rejistara kumbe laha mi nga ta tsala kona mavito ya n'wina mi byeriwa leswaku ku na xikolo ku na principal kambe na vadyondzisi kambe ku ri xikolo lexiya xo ti tshamela ntsena ku va ku nga ri na vana lava dyondzaka ka xona.
So it's for accountability purposes that we make people sign. Two, it's because we must record you as you are, so that we don't assume, because when we look at it, when we go now according to every public hearing, not just per province, if we deal with Bushbuckridge, we must know that Mr. or Mrs. or Miss so-and-so said this and this, and that is not disputed because the person is quoted verbatim.
Ku xivangelo xa ku va hi mi tsarisa i ku va hi swi tiva leswaku mani na mani i ve na mavonelo yo karhi eka nhlengeletano leyiwani na loko hi kha hi kandziyisa hi swi tiva leswaku a wu teka mahungu ntsena hi ku i mani a nga swi vula swi nga ri kona hi va hi tsarisile.
Now we are going to take hands. If we call you number one, we will take the chair on these ones that are upside down. You will take the chair there and number one. If you are number five, you will count up to 5 and take the chair that is number 5.
Hi ta va hi kha hi ya teka mavoko ka nkarhi wa sweswiwani loko u ri number 1 u ta teka xitulu xo sungula kasi loko u ri wa vuntlhanu u ta languta xitulu xa vuntlhanu laha ya tshama ka xona.
Please, for the order of the meeting, don't move to the chair if you are not pointed at.
I nga yi xitulwini loko u nga kombiwangi ku ya na xitulwini lexiya.
So we'll give you a number, you will take the chair that is equal to the number.
Hi ta ku nyika nomboro leyi fambelanaku na xitulu lexiya.
We will give you 3 minutes because you are many in the house. But when we stop you, it will be because you are exceeding 5 minutes.
Hi ta mi nyika timinetse tinharhu ntsena ku va mi vulavula mi nga pfumeleriwi ku va mi hundzisa timinetse to karhi.
If we've got enough time at the time, we will give you a second bite if there are no more other hands after.
Loko ka ha ri na nkarhi hi ta tlhela mi nyika nkarhi wun'wanyana wa ku va mi tlhela mi yimisa mavoko nakambe loko va ta va herile vo sungula vanhu.
So can we now take hands?
sweswiwani hi nga teka mavoko
Yeah. Kuthiwa ngasekhaya imisindi inikezwa mama. Number one, umama, number one there next to the yellow, is it a yellow jersey?
mani laha ka jesi ra xitshopana
Chick number one
wo
is
sungula
ubaba there
tatana lahaya
with a black shirt.
a nga na hembe ya ntima
There is at home they call it a straw hat. I don't know whether it's still like that. Yes. There was a hat somewhere here.
a ku ri na voko kun'wana
White
lahaya
shirt.
xikipa xo basa
You are number 4.
wa mune
You are number 4. Straw hat, you are number 3.
n'wini nga na xidloko wa vunharhu
Are there no other hands?
ka ha ri ha mavoko yan'wana
You know, if you are only 4 who are speaking,
hi n'wina ni ri mune ntsena mi
we can
lavaka
then close because the chairs are 10.
hi ta va hi pfarile hi ku switulu leswi hi 10
Or I always make this joke and say, when I grew up, there was a car called Golf 1. Golf 1 had a choke. Before it can be able to start, you must finally don't see choke. You must pull the choke. And then it will start to warm up. And then it can run. I know that there are people who still want to hear others. What are they saying? And then when they've heard, they start now to feel strong to stand and also speak. We will give that opportunity to think whether you are enough to come here. Axonisku, don't think that we are saying you must come front as Queen. Is there number 5? Okay, number 5,
Upton.
yes. Number 5, you take a chair there.
nga teka xitulu lahaya
Is there any other hand?
ka ha ri na voko rin'wanyana
Okay, let's take the first 5.
a hi tekeni lava ntlhanu wo
Then
sungula
we will come back again and take the last 5.
hi ta teka
and
ntlhanu yin'wana hi
close the
hetelela ivi hi
meeting.
pfala nhlengeletano
You can come there. Sorry, before you come, you will allow her to say, as long as you put down in writing, you allow her so that she doesn't get disturbed. She must say everything that she wants to say, but we give you 3 minutes, 5 minutes extra, 2 minutes extra, that's 5 minutes. So you will speak until you finish, then they will give the interpretation to us.
Ni rhandza ku pfuxela vuhlonipheki lebyi nga la mahlweni hi ku hambanahambana ka byona xikan'we ni community leyi nga kona. Ni rhandza ku khensa parlamenti loko yi tile hale Bushbuckridge. Vito ra mina ndi Dolphina wa ka Sambo, ndi huma Ward 8 Edwardslope Village. Ni rhandza ku seketela inawumbisi lowu ndi nga wutwa wa ku tlakuka ka petrol ya 10%. Ku ve ndzi wu seketela hikokwalaho ka ku mfumo lowu u nga va u swi vonile ku ri ku durheliwa ka petrol ku ta hi laha yi ta ka hi kona yi fika laha tikweni ra hina swi nga va swi durha ngopfu. Se xikombelo xa mina i ku loko mi tlakusile hi 10%, na hina hi ri vaakatiko hi kombela leswaku hi mi hi tlakusela mintirho hi 30%. Ene loko mi hi tlakusela mintirho hi 30%, yi vi ni gender equality, ku nga vi youth ntsena, swi balansa na hina hi ta tsaka loko hi vona ku ri ni mintirho inkeni yi ya emahlweni. Inkomu.
Ni unfair kodwa mina zange ningishayele ihlombe kodwa ngiqhubekani.
I would like to greet the committee together with the community. I do support the bill. She mentioned the issue of 10% increment on petrol. Her name is Dolphina Sambo. She's from Dwarsloop. She also made a plea from the government just to create jobs, more especially for the youth, and also to focus on the issue of gender equality.
Okay. Sanibonani, ngibingelele ipanel yaseParliamente, ngibingelele i-community yonke, ngibingelele balingani bami lengiqhamuka nabo. Ligama lami ngingiphethwa kaShabangu, ngiqhamuka Ward 26 eZone B. Ngiqale ngokubonga ukuthi nisiconsiderishe as i-community. Kusi nisuke from eParliament nitekisi for this event. Ngesingami ngiyayisupporta le bill. Ngiyayisupporta le bill. Kodwa ke nginenkinga. Kusi mangibuyele emuva ngiyotshela le community lengisuka kuyo kuthi ngibuya ko supporta ibill. Kuba nema questions la raisako. Bangibude ukuthi ubuya ko supporta ibill. Le bill isilethelani thine on the ground. Because esikhatsini lesiningi mangikhumbula kahle maningi ma bill lesingwahlalile lesingwa attendile aphasiswa kodwa na uthi uyabuka ekugcineni kwako konke those on the ground aba benefit lutho. Le transparency yokuthi nakuqhamuka from the government kuya down to the floor kugcina sekuphelele emkhatsini kulama official na whoever lo lekase fielding as we speak, because I know ukuthi kukhona abantu ababenefita ku petroleum na kuma minerals as we speak. Kubaningi community lengatholi lutho at the moment. Ngiyeva nje ngalo 10% lo hlongotwa ukuthi toba khona, but lo 10% ukuthi labantu labale pass bayo benefita njani. Le transparency leyo siyayicela from iParliament iyofika down to the ground, because nakuniketwa la ngendlela kwenteka ngakhona kwamanje ayifiki la kufanele ifike khona. At the end of the day le bill lena igcine ngas-assist ithine le on the ground. Ngicela lokho malunga eParliament, ngiyabonga.
Greetings. My name is Panyol Shabangu from Ward 26. Now I want to thank you, the panel, for considering us or coming here. And I want to state that I support the bill. But the problem is that when I go back to the community to inform them that I went and supported the bill, they would want to know that now how is that bill going to benefit them on the ground? Because I have attended a lot of meetings whereby bills are being discussed. But after the bill has been passed, the only people who get to benefit are the officials and others, but not people on the ground. Now, I also hear that there is a suggestion of 10%. Now, my plea is that let this 10% also benefit those on the ground. I thank you.
Ikasok. Thobela dumelaneng ke nna Motshwariseng Mohalaka Nickname ya ka ke nna Selby. I'm the chairperson of the branch Wonamo Ward 9 and the deputy chairperson of the sub-region in Bushbuckridge. Ke nyaka go emela go supporta the bill. And ke na le go tshepa gore ge bill e ka pasisiwa ona le se re go gona go se benefita. Ke supporta the bill based on the following. Number 1, ke kwisa gore ge bill e ka pasisiwa, then we will have job opportunities. We have got young girls and boys who have graduated, leadership. Then I think this will be an opportunity. I'm very much fortunate how most of the sittings pass bills. Sitting at the passes and the then this will also balance business needs, and it will also create conducive environment for investment. Therefore, ke sa emela go go tlhalosa gore nna ye bill e ke emela go e support or e pass. Then it will also provide economic transformation of the upstream industry. This bill, it will assist us because it is important for every sector, for each sector to have its own legislation. Therefore, na kelem tshware se wa mkhalaka ke emela go supporta the bill. Ke a leboga.
Greetings. My name is Motwarisi Mpumalanga. I'm the chairperson of branch in Ward 9, and I'm also a deputy chair in sub-region Bushbuckridge. Now I stand to support this bill, and my hope is that it will benefit us. If the bill is passed, it will create job opportunities. And it will also create opportunities for learnerships as well. Now, it will also ensure that there is balance in business needs, and also create investments. And there is proof that there will also be economic transformation. This bill will help us, and it is really important for it to be passed. And I would also like to mention that it is important for every sector to have its own legislation. I reiterate that I support this bill. I thank you.
Ke rata go dumedisa batho ka moka ka montlong ke dumedise le parliamentary no ba etele le kgono nna ke nyaka go nka sa ebile bona batho ne ba le moka ga bona ke a gana ke na le mabaka tata ndicela undimamele ngoba uthetha iXhosa apho mna ndivumelana nayo le nto nginama reason ukuthi why re le ka lebella gone bjalo a gona selo sa go chipa tsa go dia tura le katalong le reka 50 cent gone le reka 1 rand 50 or 2 rand 50 gone bjalo go tloga mo Dwarsloop ke tla busi ke patela 25 rand mathomo ne re patela 10 rand ke na le sekorokoro kolo ya ka ke very cheap car Mazda 323 yelo go ride petrol mo ke sa e reka kolo ile ne ke tshela petrol 1 liter ne ke tloga Dwarsloop ke tla busi gone bjalo 1 liter is 25 rand. Just imagine ke boka tšhelete ntle le ka matla Na cheleta yo molekele le increase ya petrol after 3 months, after 4 months, price ya petrol ya godimo. Iya ga man cheleta yo. Ka re mo lebela di service deliveries mo dulang gone di a beta. A ona di pata, ba tlo go tsa government a ina cheleta di diesel tsa di ganda di siyo. Iya ka cheleta yo. Kura government ya rule, the poor people will get much poorer. The rich people, they are getting much richer. A gona solo solela batho ba modimo semla di bona le no ga senyega. Lebela di billions so ba dintsi go ba maka di cheleta gone be a le cheleta tsa dinywana. What's the reason or ba maka dilo tsona? The reason o tshetse cheleta ke ga botshibutshi. A di siyo. Banna bo ba re jela semba ya ja ba tswa pele. Mo motho sa bona rutinwe. Gone bella mvotela le re ya ka Thabo, nna ke na Thabo for introduction. Ke tswa Dwarsloop what 8. Re le bona re Thabo Phoko se o tinne bjale se o dile o guri. O foka ba re Thabo Phoko wa resign wa tswa. Di khoma tsa re di tlele. What about batho ba le ba leng kufa school? Re a tlhopega semba batho ba modimo, re a tlhopega. Lebela dikoloi tso banna bo le ba bo man ba tleleng ka tsona ka motaong. Get the very expensive cars. No one can own these cars outside. But they bought them from our taxpayers' money. Just to go to sharp. Come fast to the Tupera, Shemba Tomjim. I want a miracle, Crimea, Rula, Banabaruna, 1 or 13 years who are pregnant because you got 300 grant. Wakati, South Africa, Larbolaya. Amen.
Greetings. I stand up to state that I do not agree with this bill. I do not support it, and I have reasons why I do not support the bill or even agree with everyone. My first reason is that recently everything is expensive. Prices have increased. In the past, traveling from Dwarsloop to here, it used to cost me 10 rand, but now it is 25 rands. The fuel price has also increased. Now, the question is that who benefits from these price increases? If you can look around, there is no service delivery. The people on the ground are suffering. The rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. There are those who benefit at our expense. We on the ground are suffering. If you can look outside, you guys are driving expensive cars. Those cars are paid for with our tax money. Crime increases. Little children get pregnant just so that they can get the grant money. So the situation is really bad. So I therefore do not support this bill. I thank you. All of that.
Thank you very much. Can I come in? Yeah. Vitarame me matlanatso Lydia Mruane Zita. I'm from the African National Congress Women's League. My point of departure is that I support this bill. Number two, I want to stand with the other three speakers who supported the bill, and also their presentation I fully support. Number three, I want to indicate that this increment that will be coming from us as motorists or people from the public will assist government in terms ya ku hlayisa mali, money that must be used to deal with the service delivery that our communities are yearning for. So if government from time to time has to put the money and assist with this petroleum that we don't have, they have to source from outside. That money must be used for our benefits as community members, as taxpayers, so that will assist when we support this increment in terms of this bill. Nakens.
Greetings. My name is Matlanatso Zita. I'm a member of the ANC Women's League. My point of departure is to support the bill. Number two, I would like to support the previous speakers who spoke before me. And then number three, I will comment about the increment from the public, which will assist.
Wait, my interpreter. Unatsika lo suka pha uthi uthethe isiXhosa. Hayi not Women's League. Uthi uthethe isiXhosa. Mna ndithethe isiXhosa ngikhuluma nesiZulu. Both of them ngazi into eyodwa nje. Kuthiwa isiZulu asitolikwa, isiXhosa asitolikwa. Ngiyafuna nokukholela ukuthi nesiNgisi asitolikwa. Except ukuthi ngumuzwe wrong ukuthi ubekhuluma isiNgisi. Ngicela simtolikele ngale language besikade siyitolika ngayo mekhuluma isiNgisi, thina bese siyayiphendula siyikhuluma la language besitolika before siyitolikela kwisiNgisi.
Okay, my name is Matlanatso Zita.
The Women's League introduced, I'm told, in Tsonga, and then major part was English. We then say go back to Tsonga in what she was saying in English.
Okay, Vitoramina Emina Matlanatso Zita. Nishirosha ANC Women's League. The first thing is to support the bill. Number two, I would like to support what the previous three speakers said before I came. And then number three is the increment from the government, from the public, which will assist the government. The government should assist the communities through the source which they have to, through the fund which they have to source from somewhere else, and then that fund have to benefit the community. I would also like to say I support the increment on the bill. Thank you. I'm lost. Okay.
Maybe now let's leave this one. He's gonna master it within time. Let's help just one thing so that we'll understand. I'm not here to argue for or against, but I think we must help where we think we can help. This bill says, if for instance, you were to discover petroleum, not here, anywhere, there must be rules that must be followed. For instance, if you are doing exploration, there must be consultation with what you'll call consultation with the community that will be out. It may not be in Bushbuckridge. It may not be in Bushbuckridge, but you don't know what you are sitting on here. You might be sitting over a petroleum find. Now, what does that mean? It says, this is what it says. It says, if there is a petroleum find, if there is a petroleum find, but it's gonna cut across, it's not gonna say in this area. So it's not necessarily that there is something that will come here. Let me give you another example. It says for young people now, they must say whether they agree with that. It says a license, if a company is given a right of exploration and a petroleum right, it says that company can have that petroleum right for 30 years. You see? It's not about going to the tank. One of the reasons is that in most countries, this is not what I wanted to help. The reason sometimes there is a petrol increase or fuel increase is that in South Africa we don't have any discoveries of petrol.
La South Africa akukona laha kukumuweke ndhawu leyi nga ni petrolo.
Now it says, amongst other things, there's what is called offshore, where you can find, at that stage we say oil.
Swa endleka nkarhi wun'wani ku tshuka ku kumeka ndhawu leyi nga ni oyili hi xikombiso endzeni ka mati.
Let's say Mr. Mahlaule's company is the one that is doing what we call exploration.
Loko hi xikombiso khampani ya nkulukumba Mahlaule ku ri yona leyi yi endleke kumbe ku kumisisa petrolo leyi.
It discovers petroleum.
Ivi yi kuma petrolo.
Not petrol like in the fuel station.
Ku nga ri petrolo leyi cheriwaka eswitichini.
It says Mr. Mahlaule will have 30 years license or right.
Nkulukumba Mahlaule u ta nyikiwa license leyi nga ta teka malembe ya 30
before you can decide what to do about it.
a nga si endla xiboho xa leswaku u ta endla yini hi yona.
Number two, it says in that company that would have discovered that petroleum, the state will have 20%.
Nakambe ku vuriwa leswaku eka khampani yoleyi nga ta kuma petrolo mfumo wu ta va ni 20%.
Remember, this comes from the fact that most of the big companies, your multinational companies, I don't want to make them big more than they are big, have been doing discoveries, and in most cases communities alongside the area where they have those discoveries, those communities don't benefit.
Minkarhi yo tala tikhampani tikulu leti ti kumaka tindhawu leti nga ni petrolo ko tala u kuma swa ku miganga leyi kumekaka kwalani a yi vuyeriwi loko ku kuma petrolo leyi.
Now this bill says, I think it says, if you are dealing with like mining, if you are dealing with mining, you know that there are things that you do. There is something that says consult with the communities. Two, it says you must have an SLP, a social and labor plan. Now, I don't want us then to go and try and say, when we are given an opportunity, if, for instance, you know in mining, let's make an example.
Hi xikombiso ku vuriwa leswaku loko ku ri ni ndhawu leyi ku nga endliwaka mayini nawumbisi lowu yi ri ku fanele ku hlanganiwa ni vaaki va ndhawu yoleyo.
You can still say, if that company is doing exploration and other things,
Loko khampani yoleyo yi chela kwalaho
let it first have a social and labor plan.
yi fanele nakambe yi va ni makungu lawa ma khumbaka ni vanhu va ndhawu yoleyo.
Number two, currently what we know, let it be 30%, that is allocated to the historically disadvantaged. You will remember the current 30% in terms of the mining charter, which is again a challenge. The 30% is that 10% is for the community, 10% is for employees, 10% is for local entrepreneurs.
nakambe ku vuriwa leswaku 10% ya eka vaaki yin'wana nakambe kwalaho i 10% hi laha yi hlawuriweke ha kona yi ni xiyenge xa yona hi ku hambanahambana.
That is a law. Anywhere where you want to do mining, that law applies.
I nawu lowu simekiweke wu khumbaka timayini hinkwato.
Now, I'm making this example not about this bill.
Ndzi
Now,
endla xikombiso lexi ku nga ri mayelana na nawumbisi lowu ntsena.
now, with your experience with mining,
Hi ntokoto lowu mi nga na wo ni timayini,
you can stand up and say, these mining companies don't comply with the mining chart. Now, if you come to this petroleum exploration, you can then say, in order for them not to run away with murder, we
u nga ha
want
vula
to
leswaku
suggest this
tikhampani
in this
leti
bill.
a ti fambisani ni milawu ya timayini hikwalaho hi ringanyeta nawumbisi lowu.
So I thought I must clarify. In many countries, by the way, I'm sure when you look, in many countries, especially in the Middle East,
Ematikweni yo tala ku fana ni lama nga le Middle East,
they survive because they've got huge discoveries of oil.
va kota ku hanya kumbe ku vuyeriwa hi tioyili leti ti nga kona kwalaho.
So I thought I must clarify. Now I'm not going to respond to that one, good people, but all what I will tell you,
Leswi ndzi lavaka ku mi byela swona,
we accept, criticize everyone. That's what the life, by the way. When you accept to represent people, accept criticism too.
loko u ri leyi u amukelaka mavonelo ya vanhu u tlhela u langutela nakambe van'wani lava va nga ta kanetana ni leswi u taka na
Yeah, even if you feel, but this one, you have to accept it. You agreed.
u fanele u swi amukela hinkwaswo hikuva u pfumerile.
But I don't want us to dwell on those things, because at the end of the day, you will not use this opportunity to tell us about what will affect you in future.
A hi lavi ku tshama ngopfu eka sweswo kambe hi lava ku languta leswi swi nga ta mi khumba eka vumundzuku.
About more than 100 years ago, people were staying in areas today that are full of mining. Whether you would say in Kimberley, today you say you are touring to Kimberley because there is the big hole. The big hole is as a result of not having laws that were protecting communities against degradation.
Eka dzana ra malembe lama hundzeke a ku ri ni vanhu lava a va tshama eka tindhawu leti ku nga ni timayini namuntlha kambe a ku nga ri na nawu lowu sivelaka ku endla kumbe ku ciyeriwa ka timayini teto.
Many of the mining companies today, they may
Tikhampani to
pretend
tala
they
ta
know.
timayini namuntlha
Many of the mines today that we call derelict and ownerless mines is because the law those days favored those mining companies that they could mine without doing rehabilitation.
timayini to tala enkarhini lowu hundzeke a ti cela ti onha kambe ku nga ri na milawu leyi ti sivelaka ku endla sweswo.
So we are here now to say from you, from our experiences, we want to tighten screws here and here.
Hi laha ku mi lemukisa leswaku sweswi hi lava ku tiyisa nawu loko ku tiwa eka timhaka ta milawu ya timayini.
I'm not going to come back again if people want to go to that. But all what I said, remember, we had to battle to come to Bushbuckridge.
Lexi hi lava ku xi vula hi leswaku hi endle matshalatshala ku va hi kumeka hi ri la Bushbuckridge namuntlha.
Let me repeat it. Bushbuckridge is one of the areas that were contested. Why are we going to Bushbuckridge instead of going to Nelspruit?
Bushbuckridge hi yin'wana ya tindhawu leti a va nga yi lavi ku va ku tiwa eka tona.
And we refused and said, Bushbuckridge, small as it might be, almost all committees will want to go to the big cities. Let's go to those people because they also deserve to participate in lawmaking.
Hi teke xiboho lexi hi ku tiva leswaku ko tala ku yiwa emadorobeni kambe hi hlawula ku va hi ta
So
eBushbuckridge.
help us to make this law.
Hi
that
pfuneni
even-
leswaku hi endla nawu.
Even if you see that 30 years, one old man said, 30 years is too much, but that time will be gone.
van'wani va ri 30 years malembe yo tala swi nga endleka hi nkarhi wolowo hi va hi nga ha
It
ri
means
kona.
this law that we are making today will bind the generation that is coming 30 years later.
nawu lowu wu nga ta simekiwa laha wu ta boha ni miganga leyi nga ta va yi hanya endzhaku ka malembe laha 30.
So it's up to you to then say 30 years is too much, we want 20 years or 10 years, subject to review, whatever. But what we can't do is to feed you. Because then it means
Leswi mi nga swi
you are
vulaka
not
i ku
giving us
ala
your own
malembe ya
thoughts.
80 mi vula ku kumbe mi lava 20 years hikwalaho mi veka mavonelo ya n'wina.
Please feel free now. I'm sure I've tried to explain. Feel free. I can feel it. I can also feel it hot.
Chunchekani mi veka
Can we
mavonelo ya
take the
n'wina.
next round of hands?
Sweswi hi ta lava
Can I ask,
mavoko man'wana.
please, can you help him with a chair? That chair must remain there. This one, in the
Hi
middle.
pfuneni
Yes.
switshamo leswiya.
Can we take the next round of hands? Number one there.
Number
We are
1
number
ake
two. Take chair number two. Number one was there. Come number one.
number
You see
1
the problem,
atsenele.
the slower you move from your seat, by the time you arrive here, people are confused which seat they must
loko u
sit
hlwela
on.
ku ta vanhu vo tala va
Number
nge
three,
swi tivi leswaku
with
va
a
nge
black
tshama
cap.
kwini. Number 3 a tshinele.
Oh. Number four,
Number 4
is there another hand?
xana ra ha ri koho voko rin'wana.
Number four, number five,
Number 5
number six, there is no one.
Number 6
Oh, there is a hand there at the back.
hi vona voko le ndzhaku.
Not the white one, not the white one. I thought I would go say, yeah, come. I was trying to look, it looks like Super Eagles. Number 5. So you are agree with us that
Number
we
five.
must, after number 5, we must close the meeting.
ma pfumelelana na hina leswaku loko hi heta hi number 5 hi nga gimeta nhlengeletano ya hina.
The normal procedure will apply. Come, number 1.
Ku ta landzeriwa matirhelo lama tolovelekeke.
Yeah. Ngiyabingelela baphathi bethu lapho bahlali bangaphambili nomphakathi wonke wala eBushbuckridge. Lo okhulumayo igama lakhe uSam wakadube ngivela laphana eHlanzweni region. Ngimele abahlali okuthiwa yiSanko. So siyindlebe nomlomo wemiphakathi esihlala kuyo ingakho silapha njena ngibilana ngizogcizelela ukuthi ngibazwile bekhuluma abalingani bethu basupporta le bill siyibonile nathi singajabula kakhulu uma ngaba iqiniso ukuthi yo benefit abantu abamnyama ngoba abantu abamnyama kuvamisa ukuthi sibe yidebhisi kukhushuke ngathi bahlalele badla kahle khona lephezulu. So siusanko sithike njoba nila, this is a people's parliament. This is a people's parliament. Fanele thathe lemibono yethu niyise kahle eparliament lokho sikushilo lana ekugcineni kwakonke mase nukuhlaziyile lapha eparliament you come back to us nisitshele ukuthi ke nithetheni nashiyani ukuze abantu bethu ba benefit. Sesikhathele kuba yidebhisi siyabhabhalala phansi bagibele phezulu kwethu sithi sekuphelile ke manje kuphelile sicela ke simlomo nendlebe yabahlali susanko sithi ke yebo siyasupporta le bill based ukuthi abantu bakithi bo benefita ngendlela efanele and niyabuya niyasirepotela ukuthi lo esikufakile nikufakile yini na ukhipha okunye na but ngeke nikhiphe konke silapha ke sithi ke Sicela ke ukuthi nathi siphile njengoba niphila bahlali bethu. Nibatshele eParliament ukuthi siyakhala. Sisuleni inyembezi. Size lapha ukuthi nisule inyembezi. Siyabonga.
Good morning. My name is Sam Dube. I come from an Ehlanzeni region. I am here to represent Sanko. As Sanko, we are the ears and the eyes of the communities where we live. You have heard members of the community here saying that they support this bill, which is a very good thing. I am very happy that for the first time, this bill is going to benefit black people in the petroleum industry, which is something that was lacking in the past. And as a People's Parliament, we hope that you are going to make this happen, because for a long time, black people did not benefit in a lot of things. We hope that you are going to, after you collect all this information and you go back and make your report in Parliament, you are going to come back here and inform the people and tell the people what is going to happen next, or what is in store for them. As black people, we are tired of having been a stepladder for other people to climb on us in order to succeed. That time is over, and we are very happy that it is over. That is why we support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. My name is Goodman Shabangu, the resident of Bushbuckridge and the sub-regional secretary of the ANC in this municipality. Chair, we first want to applaud the visit of Parliament here in our area, Bushbuckridge. This is the real Parliament of the people. This consultation of Parliament doing outreach when it's about to implement some laws of the country, it really overwhelms us as the people of this area. Unlike the other parliaments that we see on TV being disrupted, here the masses are able to speak to Parliament to say, what is it that must happen? And what is it that they agree or don't disagree? Chair, we welcome this bill and support the bill here in this area of Bushbuckridge. We support the bill on the basis that, Chair, this seeks to advance or advocate one of the objectives of the Congress of the People in 1955, the Freedom Charter, when the Freedom Charter said the people are going to share all or through the wealth of this country. And we deem it correct to support it on those bases that when we are indeed separating the two for the benefit of the people, we are bringing back the objectives of the Freedom Charter in the doorsteps of our people. They will see the realization of the beneficiation of what the Freedom Charter has said in 1955. So, Chair, we also support this bill on the basis that we understand that it is going to address the socio-economic challenges that are faced about our people. It's going to address the issue of unemployment, inequality, and poverty in our communities. Yes, we want to agree that we might be here in Bushbuckridge not having that pound of oil or petroleum, but wherever these ponds are, where a black child is going to benefit. Tinage here in Bushbuckridge, we are in support, Chair. There are many reasons that we can speak about in terms of this bill, but we ought to support the bill on those bases that we have mentioned, to say our people should be pushed first in the mainstream economy of this country. Because to us, the economy of this country is the mineral resources that we are having as a country. So if this bill seeks to advance and advocate for the beneficiation of a black child, then that's where you locate us as the African National Congress, because we represent the poor of the poorest and a black child. I thank you, Chair.
No, thanks, Chair. My name is Mfundo Ntuli, the District Secretary of the Young Communist League of South Africa, here in Harold Mlobela District, Bushbuckridge and Tabacho. Let me first welcome the presentation that has been made by the Department of Minerals and Resources in the country, particularly from Parliament, the Portfolio Committee. We are very happy to come here and participate in this kind of a meeting. But then the first thing that I want to check, Chairperson, the objective talks about the issue of a designated state-owned company as an entity responsible for managing the state interest in petroleum rights. In as much as Comrade Goodman has mentioned it, that the Bill of Rights spoke about the issue of the people shall share in the minerals underneath the land. We have a problem where the issue of the pricing of petrol is not regulated in South Africa. That's the first issue. But then again, if Objective 10 says that a designated state-owned company, why can't the state, as and when it opened that state-owned company, own the whole rights of petroleum in South Africa, so that you can regulate the issue of petrol prices, diesel prices, and whatsoever oil in the country? As we're speaking now, the petrol is in highest peak in terms of pricing. Our people are suffering. You are still saying that you want to give rights to blacks so that we can what? We can benefit. But previously, why didn't you give those rights so that we can benefit? 28 years into democracy, you are coming here, you are telling us that previously disadvantaged must be given a right. Why didn't you give us those rights after 94? The second issue is the issue of the BEE codes and the triple BEE codes. They favor the elites. They favor those who are connected to politicians and those officials in government. If I am Fundo like this, I have no connection in the Department of Mineral Resources. I apply for the right to explore. If I don't have anyone that I know in the department, my application will be sold to the highest bidder, or my application will be sold to another person who's connected to government. The black economic empowerment in its entirety doesn't represent us as black people, especially us as the youth. You are saying that you are going to look at the skills development. So as and when there are opportunities, the black child must be able to get a skill transfer. But the question is, in those existing petroleum companies or conglomerates that we are having as we speak, how many blacks are in training in such instances? Because you cannot say you are going to look into that. What have you looked before? Because as and when you are saying that there's a bill, there's something that you think is not working currently in its form, then you want to change that. But have you taken stock to how many young black children have been trained in the process? It's something that we need to check, because you have the skills levy, you have the National Skills Fund, but it's still not working for the youth of South Africa. The employment rate in this country is South Africa, and I tell you for that fact. But you are coming here, means there are the opportunity. Why didn't you take young black people, got those conglomerates that are still existing, and train them, so that as and when you are saying you are giving us a license to go and explore, already send now experience. Now you are saying you are giving me a permit, you are giving me a right to explore, I don't have experience. You will still go to the white company so that it can what? It can mentor me. It means all the profit that we'll be making will be going to that white guy, not to the black child. We are requesting as young people all over the country, in all the provinces, that you must take young people very seriously. Very seriously. The issue that you are going to give us learnerships and say go and study so that you can be trained. A learnership and an apprentice are two things that are different in form. An apprentice, you take me through a 3-year program. When I come out of an apprentice, I can either go and start a company because I have the knowledge and the skill. But a learnership, I'm just certified competent. There's nothing that I know. You are taking us for a ride. So please, Parliament, take us very serious. Thank you very much.
Sanibonani. Ngibingelele nonke, ngibingelele nabaphasi lapha phambili. Ngikutele kakhulu la. Kokuqala lengakusho igama lami ngiAntoni.
Wait a bit, good Anton.
Sorry?
Wait a bit. They have not interpreted just the last speaker. You can just have a seat, and then when he's finished interpretation, you'll come back.
Chair, I think the point in Shitsonga that he brought there was that many people are not working in South Africa. You say you are bringing opportunities to the community, but at the end of the day, those opportunities are going to be given to rich people.
My interpreters, I don't know what's happening today. Honestly. 90% of what was said here was English. Now they are still giving us an interpretation in English. You know what's the problem with that? We will end up somebody said, I did not say is, I said was. Because you interpreted that person's English wrongly. Can you interpret? Awunazi itulo zami ziphela bakwethu. Hayi bawuvala umhlangano manje. Can you give? You see now. Ngizothi Tsonga kuthi no Xitsonga. You see, my experts next to me are saying I'm right on the last one. I would not have said so if they'd Can you give a Xitsonga interpretation on the last speaker? If you can't, tell us. I do have interpreters. Wherever I go, I carry some interpreters. Mfundo's submission was predominantly in English. So we need a translation even for those who were here that what he was saying in Xitsonga.
Okay, Xitsonga lesi nkulukumba Goodman a swi vulalanwa hi ku i ntiyiso ha switwa leswaku ku tisiwa mitirho swi sasekile ku va hi tiseriwa mitirho kambe mhaka leyi xiyekaka ko tala vanhu lava va nga ni vuxaka ni lava va nga la ka ndzawulo ya swa petrolo ni van'wani hi vona ko tala va nyikiwaka mitirho ku lava vo fana na hina va nga tiviwiki hambi va endla swikombelo sweswo a swi amukeriwi. Xin'wana ntiyiso ma vula mi ku mitirho ma yi tisa kambe mitirho leyi chairperson eku heteleleni swa tikomba leswaku van'wana lava va nga ni mavito kumbe ku fana na lavo basa ni lava va nga le ka switshamo swa le henhla swa tipolitiki hi vona va hetelelaka va nyikiwa mitirho. Hi nga tsaka loko ku nga pfuneka vanhu lava hakunene va nga le vuswetini loko ku tumbuluxiwa mitirho leyi. Inkomu.
Sanibonani nibingelele futhi. Igama lami Anthony Ngwabachirinda ngwasewatford ngiorganizer wasewatford. Into lengilethela namhla to supporta le bill le petroleum bill. Ukuthi ngathi ingaba khona lo mthetho ungathi ungaba khona uphumele eParliament uphumelele ube khona. Because lengubukile mina ukuthi ngathi utovula amathuba emisebenzi kuletinye indzawo la eSouth Africa lengikucelako kakhulu ukuthi ngathi le system ngathi ngalethwa nala phakathi etikolweni bantwana labancane bakhona ekucala nyalo bafunze ngayo ngala resources nale mining ukuze kusasa kutowakheka labanye basebenzi labatoba ngcono kunathi. Ngibona ngathi sine sesibadzala ukuthi singavala indlela sivalele labanye bantwana labasemva labanelithando nale petroleum resource or le tindzaba te mining. Lokuningi cishe bakhulumile ama-comrade lakhulumile laba basupporta le petroleum bill. Ngiyabonga.
Greetings to the House.
Greetings to the House. My name is Anthony, and what brings me here today is this bill that is before us. I fully support this bill because I feel that it will open up employment opportunities. I further would like to submit that this particular system be considered for introduction in school as part of the curriculum in terms of skills development and to instill this culture of understanding the mineral sector to the youth as they are the future of this country. Some of us are already old. I am standing here in support of the bill, seeing that a lot has already been said. Thank you.
Okay, we agreed that because of the lack of hands, we are closing. I hope I won't be followed by a grievance. I tried my level best. Before I close, yes. One mistake I did, especially my male colleagues in interpretation, was to ask whether they are married or not. I should have asked that. Because they seem to be so shy to do the interpretation. Interpret that one exactly. I want you to interpret that one.
Xiphiqo xin'we lexi nga xi endla loko ni sungula laha I ku va ni nga vutisangi ku vahundzuluxi va hina kumbe titoloki ta hina ta xinuna ti tekile na hi ku nyuma ka tona.
Yeah, I'm saying now, because they were not even, I'm saying now, I hope we all agree I did my level best. We could not even make 10, not that is wrong. But many of you who spoke here represented you very well. And I did say that we are taking the last round.
Ni tshemba leswaku tanihileswi ni nga vula leswaku hi ta va hi pfarile ka ku teka mavoko hambi vanhu va nga fikangi 10 ni vula leswaku ro hetelela naswona hi ta va hi ya ku pfaleni.
Now, before we close the meeting and outline what is the process going forward,
loko nga se pfala nhlengeletano na ku vula leswaku hi ya njhani emahlweni,
let's give Councillor Gumede,
a hi nyikeni Councillor Gumede Khwabe,
who unfortunately when he came in we were already starting the meeting.
loko va fika laha se hi sungurile nhlengeletano ya hina.
I've requested him that he must do one of the simplest jobs.
Ni n'wi kombele leswaku a hi endlela ntirho wo olova swinene.
He should have welcomed us, but he will be thanking us before we thank him and the municipality.
A fanele va hi amukerile ivi hi kota ku va hi va khensa swo ta va khensa hina va yimele masipala.
He will also make his contribution if you want to on the bill.
Na vona va nga veka vonelo ra vona eka nawumbisi luwa.
The reason sometimes we take those who are leading in the municipality or the province, we take them last, is because we don't want people to feel a little bit tight in speaking before them.
Xivangelo xa ku va hi teka vanhu lavo suka ka masipala kumbexana ka swiyimo swa le henhla va vo hetelela ku vulavula I ku endla leswaku vanhu van'wana va nga twi va na ntshikelelo loko va fanele va vulavula ndzhaku ka vona.
Let me give to you Councillor Kumede, then we will do the summary of the proceedings from now going forward.
Nkarhi wa n'wina kulukumba Gumede hi ta endla leswin'wana endzhaku ka swona.
Sure. Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. I'm Councillor Gumede, MMC for Sports in our local Bushbuckridge municipality. Yeah, by the virtue of the situation, I hope you realize that you are welcomed here in Bushbuckridge. I'm supporting the bill on behalf of people of Bushbuckridge. I'm supporting the bill. The reason why I'm supporting the bill, I want you to take into consideration the following. Assist us, well, even though they've mentioned this one, assist us in creating jobs, assist us in subsidizing students, like will be a copycat, like what is happening in Libya. If ever it comes to a push that any area in South Africa is identified that we can get that petroleum oil, please let's subsidize our students. And also service delivery in terms of where that mine will have been identified. People next to that area, they must not suffer. They must get houses, they must get proper road, they must get blue drop water, and so forth. And also, as we speak now, because of the conflict or the war in Russia, petrol is expensive, too much expensive. But if we can be lucky, in South Africa we'll get an area where we can, where it can, or any land that can be identified to assist us. Please subsidize petrol to a lesser amount, even if it can goes up to 10 rand. Let me applaud you for realizing while you are in Parliament, you realize that there is a small area called Bushbuckridge. And then you fought with all your tooth and nails to make it the point that Bushbuckridge must have a weight on this bill. We want to applaud you for that. It means Bushbuckridge is no longer a small town. Bushbuckridge today, you are big. But assist us also in identifying any area around Bushbuckridge. If it comes to a push, bring your engineers here. Whatever a mineral that will be found in Bushbuckridge, like what was happening in Pilgrim Rest. Some of us, we don't know that Pilgrim Rest made Joburg how it is. So it means Bushbuckridge, it's rich when coming to minerals. So we'll request you from your departments or from your portfolio to send engineers to come to Bushbuckridge to make it a point that can we get on maybe one mineral that can assist in job creation. Bushbuckridge is welcoming you as we come to an end. Go back to the Parliament and you tell the people of, or your people in Parliament that Bushbuckridge, it's supporting the bill. So in terms of job creation, send your engineers to come and assist that our people maybe can get something out from Bushbuckridge. I thank you.
Ndzi rhandza ku xeweta mutshamaxitulu ndzi ri nkulukumba Gumede. Haku amukela Bushbuckridge na hina hi seketela nawumbisi lowu. Kambe xikombelo xa hina hi lexi landzelaka. Hi pfune na hina leswaku hi kota ku vuyeriwa. Nakambe hi kombela mi hi pfuna nakambe leswaku ku kota ku seketeriwa machudeni hi xikombiso loko ku ta kumeka ndhawu yin'wana laha nkarhi wun'wana kumekaka swa ku ni swicelwa kumbe petrolo onge ni machudeni ku fana leswi endlekaka ka tiko leri ri boxiweke na wona machudeni ala ka hina ma nga ehleketeleriwa eka swiyenge sweswo. Loko tiwe timhakeni ta vukorhokeri onge tindlu, mapatu, mati, vaaki na vona va nga hleketeleriwa va va ni mapatu lamanene. Xin'wana nakambe hi laha hi tsundzukaka nyimpi leyi nga kona eUkraine ni le Russia, ha kombela petroli se ya durha onge mixava petroli yi nga ehleketeleriwa nkarhi wun'wana yi ehlisiwa hambi litara yi nga va 10 rand yi nga khensa swinene. Hi tlhela hi khensa ku tekeriwa nhlokweni ka Bushbuckridge hi laha se mi vuleke ha kona ku komba leswaku na hina hi hlawulekile ha swi khensa swinene sweswo. Nakambe hi kombela ku va ku pfuniwa mhaka ya ku va ku tumbuluxiwa mitirho, ku rhumeriwa tiinjiniyara ti ta la Bushbuckridge leswaku loko ti ta hi xikombiso tindhawu leti nga kona ta va pilgrim swa tikomba leswaku ti fuwile hi swicelwa. Tiinjiniyara leti ti ta pfuneta ku va ku tumbuluxiwa mitirho. Onge mi nga byela palamende leswaku Bushbuckridge ya wu seketela nawumbisi lowu.
Okay. Thank you, Babu Kwabe. We won't take the other part. We will take that part that relates to the mandate. Thank you very much for your words of welcome and vote of thanks. Now let's go to the steps from now going forward.
Sweswo ndzi laveka mi byela leswaku hi ya njhani emahlweni.
So when we started the meeting, one of the members of parliament
Loko hi sungula nhlengeletano xirho xin'wana xa hina kusuka epalamende
who joined us is Honorable Mtenjana.
I Muchaviseki Mtenjana.
Is Mpumalanga himself also.
Va huma kwala Mpumalanga na vo.
He used to serve in this committee.
A va ri xiphemu xa komiti leyi.
And I suspect he still wishes to be in this committee.
Ni tshemba leswaku wa ha navela ku va kona ka komiti leyi.
Now, just few things, good people.
Swilo switsongo vanhu va kahle.
I always explain this thing, even if it's that we are the portfolio committee of the National Assembly.
Ni tshama ni nga ni vula leswaku hi swirho swa portfolio committee kusuka epalamende ya tiko.
We have decided, instead of discussing the bill, we have decided to first consult with the people.
Hi nga se endla njhekanjhekisano mayelana na nawumbisi liya hi teke xiboho xa ku va hi burisana na vaaki.
Maybe other colleagues of ours from parliament, they do it differently. In this portfolio committee, we don't tell you which party we are coming from.
Kumbexani ka swirho swin'wana swa palamende vona va endleli ndlela yona ka komiti leyiwani va rhanga va burisana na vaaki va nga se teka xiboho.
Because we are a portfolio committee, not a representation of political parties in parliament.
hikuva hina hi portfolio committee kambe ku nga ri vayimeri va vandla ro karhi epalamende.
That goes without saying that I can tell you sitting here, we share different views about this bill.
Ni nga mi byela ni nga pfinyingi leswaku loko hi tshame hi ndlela leyiwani hi nyikana mavonelo ya ku hambanahambana.
But we will wait until we finish all 9 provinces.
kambe hi ta mi byela leswaku hi ta yima hi ze hi ta swifundza hinkwaswo swi ri nkaye.
When we have finished all 9 provinces,
loko hi te swifundza leswi hinkwaswo swa nkaye
we will then compile a report
hi ta tsala xiviko
of all the areas where we conducted public hearings.
ka tindhawu hinkwato leti hi nga va na mitshamo na vaaki.
In that report, we will take out every comment
eka xiviko xexo
that
hi ta teka
relates to the bill.
marito hinkwawo lama khumbaka ngopfu na humbesi luwa.
But at times we have to be constructive and say, in as much as this was posed as a question, we make it as a comment.
swin'wana swi nga swi vutisiwi ku ri swivutiso kambe hi nga va hi swi tsala se ku ri mavonelo yo karhi.
So that it fits in as something that people were saying.
ku swi fambelana leswi vanhu va nga ta va swi vurile.
Because when we discuss, we call it deliberation, when we deliberate on the bill,
loko hi jekajekisana mayelana na humbisi
I will give you an example. If you say, some people said 30 years,
xikombiso van'wani va te malembe makume nharhu
when we deliberate in the bill and some person say we reject 30 years,
loko hi jekajekisana hi na humbisi van'wani va alelana makume nharhu ya malembe lawaya.
and I'm being honest, politically sometimes one is on the other angle, the other one is on another angle.
loko hi languta mhaka ya swa tipolitiki un'wana le ka xiyimo xin'wanyana un'wana le ka tlhelo rin'wanyana.
So it will be difficult to say 30 years was rejected, they said 20 or 10 years.
so swi ta swi tika ku vula leswaku makume nharhu wa malembe ya ariwile van'wani va pfumelelana hi makume mbirhi wa malembe.
Because the member can stand up and say, where did you get the 10 years? Because the person only rejected 30 years.
xirho xexo xi nga vula xi ku khume ra malembe i makuma kwini ku munhu loyi i alane na makume nharhu wa malembe.
So that is why we say, what are you suggesting?
hi leswi swi endlaka leswaku hi vutisa leswaku wena u hleketela yini.
So that we then, when we meet, we then say, but these people, this one and this one and this one suggested this.
loko hi hlangana hi ku munhu loyi na loyiwani va vule va bumabumele swo fana na leswiwa.
But one of the things I must say is that I always tell people, the fact that you sit on a table here does not make you to possess natural wisdom.
ni tshama ni nga byela vanhu ku va u tshama etafuleni leriya a swi vuli leswaku wena u na vutivi byo tlula vanhu hinkwavo.
All of us here, regardless of which party we come from, we are a product of a show of hands.
hinkwerhu ka hina hi nga tshama laha hi nga huma ka vandla rihi kumbe rihi kambe hinkwenu lo hlawuriwa kunene hikuva hi yimisa vona.
So any leader who comes to tell people what they must do or what they must say, that leader will only end up with only people who have got a mind that is equal to that leader.
murhangeri loyi a taka a ta nyika mavonelo ya yena ntsena i ta hela fana na vanhu valava a nyikaka wona.
So with this exercise, we are also learning from you.
hina hi ndlela leyiwani va hi karhi hi dyondza na le kusuka ka n'wina.
You know, I always tell a joke and say, those who understand Marxism and say, we are presiding over the common interest of the bourgeoisie.
lava twisaka marxism hi vula leswaku mi langutaka mhaka ya ku va hi languta ngopfu ka mhaka ya mabourgeoisie.
Sala lapha sigade imali zabantu ongenalo kwa wena u5 rand. Kodwa kuthiwa gade billions. Okay, I'm saying at times we have to speak truth to power. We are looking, at times you are compelled to look after the interest of those who have got monopoly to wealth. So you must always guide us on how to do things that stands to benefit the majority of our people. So we'll take, that's why I said to yourselves, Any leader who does not want to be criticized
murhangeri un'wana na un'wana loko a nga lavi ku soriwa
is not worth to be.
a nga enelangi ku va murhangeri.
You just have to take criticisms. They must build you. You must move on and do better than yesterday.
I fanele i soriwa i akiwa i ya mahlweni i endla swo antswa.
So we will defend our choice of coming to Bushbuckridge.
Hi ta sirhelela xiboho xa hina xa ku va hi hlawule ku ta eBushbuckridge.
And I think with some of the reasons, even yourselves you have given on the bill, they prove that it was not a mistake coming to Bushbuckridge.
Swivangelo swin'wana ka leswi mi nga swi vulavula n'wina swi ta va swi nyika nhlohlotelo na swona ku
I won't ask
tele
you.
yini eBushbuckridge ni nge mi vutisi.
I won't ask you, but I'm very suspicious that probably for the first time you meet something called public hearings.
Ni nge mi vutisi kambe swi nga endleka vo hlaya va n'wina ku ri siku ro sungula mi ta ka ntshamo wa vaaki.
If it is not, I doubt since 1994 you would have had more than 10 public hearings. If you are that, it means you are lucky.
Loko kambe ku langutiwa tindhawu ti nga to antswa ku tshikiwa leti ti nga ti le makaya.
So thank you very much for your contributions.
A khensa kunene swinene ku va mi nyike mavonelo ya n'wina.
Now when we are done with deliberations, we are going to do something called clause by clause. If we finally agree in supporting it, then you can come and ask me, why are we saying this? For now, we are still consulting. There is no position on this bill by this portfolio committee. After consultations and deliberations and adoption of the report of this portfolio committee on the bill, we will then go out and defend the decision of the portfolio committee on this bill. If it passes the National Assembly, it may pass with a vote, it may be agreed unanimous, but if it passes in the National Assembly, it will then be referred to the National Council of Provinces.
Loko swi pasa nga ku ri mhaka ya ku va ku votiwa kumbexana ku twananiwa kunene hi nomo swi ta rhumeriwa aka NCOP.
The National Council of Provinces may decide to do the same thing that we are doing and conduct its own public hearing. That is supposed to be the most intense one because municipalities are also represented in the NCOP. So we want to say thank you to you because your contributions at least we are more informed in terms of what the bill is all about. As I said, we have got no weekend. Tomorrow we are going to Middleburg. In Middleburg, we are going to Secunda. After that, we are going back to Cape Town. When we finish in Cape Town on Thursday, we are not going home. We are going to the northwest.
Cape Town.
When we come from northwest, we'll go back to Cape Town. It means for a month we won't be home. That's how serious we take you. We rather sacrifice our own in order for you to participate. The history of this country is a history where there was no consultation on lawmaking. But every time you make a law, it's a fact. Every time you make a law, Those who knows how to look after livestock, every time
lava tivaka mhaka ya ku risa
you put something in your crawl.
i veka swo karhi exivaleni
You
xa
try
wena
to make your crawl very strong.
i tiyisa xivala xa wena
One of the worst animals
xiharhi
to
xin'wana
break through that is a
xo sova
goat.
sweswo
Those who know how to have goats, it's a goat.
i mbuti
Every law you make,
na un'wana na un'wana lowu wu endlaka
whether you are making it for a thief or for a criminal, they will always look for loopholes.
va ta languta laha ku nga na vangwanyana
That's when you have to go back and say, any law that I do, I must learn from the weaknesses of the previous
hi
one.
swo swi endlaka leswaku na un'wana na un'wana lowu endliwaka hi languta laha a ku ri na movhanyana wo karhi
So lawmaking is always a constant exercise that we don't have to avoid, we'll have to go through.
ku endla nawu i swilo leswi tshamaka swi va kona nkarhi na nkarhi
So feel free when we go to other areas,
loko hi ya ka tindhawu tin'wanyana
we will always remember that there is a place called
hi
Bushbuckridge.
ta tshama hi karhi swi tiva leswaku ku na ndhawu leyi va nge hi le Bushbuckridge kulukumba Gumede
Those days I never knew I would put a foot in.
a ni nga swi tivi nkarhi luwani ku ni ta fika eBushbuckridge
It was during those tense days. I was just used to look on TV.
a no languta ntsena ka makomba
Those days of boundaries.
ka nkarhi walowo
You see, that's how I knew
hi
Bushbuckridge.
leswi ni nga swi tivisa swona
The days
Bushbuckridge
of boundaries. At least today,
namuntlha
I happen to put my foot
ni
in
kote ku veka nenge
Bushbuckridge.
wa mina eBushbuckridge
Thank you very much. The meeting stands adjourned. I'm told
sekretano i fike makumu
there is this announcement that I don't like making,
ku na xitiviso lexi no ka nga rhandzi ku xi endla
because when things don't go right,
hikuva swilo loko swi nga fambi hi ndlela yona
it's so difficult to stand by it. But
swa
I'm
tika ku va
told
yima kambe ni byeriwile leswaku
you can remain. Just note, I'm told
ni byeriwile teka sweswo
you can remain seated or
ni nga
remain
tshamisa
behind
sweswo
because there is something
hikuva
coming.
ku na swin'wana swi nga ekuteni
That is coming
leswi nga kuteni
to entertain
ku mi nyanyula
that other part that has got
xiphemu lexiya xin'wana
no respect when it is empty.
lexi nga hlonipheki loko xi twandla kumbe xi
So
kwatile
I'm told there are refreshments coming.
ku
You
na
can
swo
remain seated.
timula torha mi nga
The meeting
tshamisa
stands
sweswo
adjourned. Thank you
sekretano
very
i fike
much.
makumu inkomu swinene